If you were asked to find shapes in the stars, you might connect them in a number of ways. You might find faces or plants or animals. Of course, the stars were not designed to make these shapes. You find them by connecting stars into constellations. If I tell you to look for a constellation, you may find it. If you can't find it, you might connect stars that merely resemble that constellation, in a loose arrangement. The pictures generated by artificial intelligence systems are constellations too. They are not constellations in the nighttime sky, but patterns found in the chaos of pure static. Every image generated by diffusion models starts here. It is a single frame of noise, randomly generated. To understand this frame of static, we have to start at the beginning. Buried between the images of television broadcasts is the 14-billion-year-old echo of the universe popping open. This visual static is the microwave radiation unleashed by the Big Bang. We hear it on the radio. We see it on TV. The history of the universe is hidden between channels of information. Sometimes our technologies reveal them. Every image generated by diffusion models starts here, with a frame of noise. Hidden between every pixel is a possible image, a latent image. These tools ask you to dream, or to imagine. They ask you to do this by describing a picture. Ships can steer their way through the sea by reference to the stars. Diffusion models can steer their way through noise by reference to your words. You describe a constellation, and ask the model to find it in the stars. But there is no constellation. There is no image in the static. The model can only find approximations. It begins by removing a bit of noise that doesn't align with your description. Then it adds noise. Then it examines the image again, to see if the new noise introduces new paths to the image you've described. It does this repeatedly, until it offers you an image. Every AI-generated image is wrong. In the beginning, there was noise. But what creates this noise? An AI model knows nothing. It sees nothing. It experiences nothing. It can only follow instructions. It can only see what we describe. The instruction was to go online, to seek out images with text descriptions. These pairs of images and text are a sample of human visual culture. It includes artworks, illustrations, selfies, medical records, historical photographs, landscape paintings, advertisements, real estate listings, pictures of our pets, botanical drawings, Scientific illustrations. These models do not store these photographs. They are not archives. Instead, they transform these images and their descriptions into data. It converts these images to data in an unusual way. It destroys them, slowly. Each image has a small amount of information removed. But it is easier, perhaps, to see it as the addition of noise. As the image is degraded, it breaks apart following a familiar pattern. It is the pattern of Gaussian noise. This noise creates clusters of pixels around the densest areas of visual information. The model learns about how this noise travels across the image. The result is an image of pure noise. The trajectory of this noise is recorded. It is compared to the text that described that image. If the image has a flower, it is added to the noise of other flowers. If the image is taken at night, it joins the noise of other nighttimes. Visual information become categories. The categories are labeled by the words found alongside the image. Flowers bloom backward into noise. Then a new set of flowers can bloom from the debris. Your words do not create images. They carve images out of noise. An image of noise contains every possible pathway to nearly every possible image. Your words are a constraint. The more precise the words, the clearer the image. But not everything these systems learn is as beautiful as a flower or a nighttime sky. A composite photograph is made when similar photographs are blended into a single image. It began with pictures of human faces. In the 19th century, Francis Galton sought to create a common face amongst prisoners. It was thought that finding a common face would help to predict whether a person would become a criminal. The composites suggested that those who shared these facial features were criminals. Galton had confused, or abused, correlation and causation. Galton, the man who invented composite photographs, was the inventor of inferential statistics and eugenics. Composite photography, inferential statistics and eugenics have the same parent. All are entangled in the constellations of these images. Humans make images and label them. These images and labels are reduced to categories and composites. The images and texts used to create an image are part of a dataset. This dataset informs the relationships between images and their descriptions. Humans hold biases. Machines are designed for biased purposes. Systems must be crafted with specific intention. We must learn to read AI images critically. This is not an image of a butterfly. It is the stereotype of a butterfly. It emerges from an image of noise when we ask for a butterfly. It is one point in a series of possibilities made possible by this data. That data has a vague image of a butterfly made by all butterflies. When we ask to dream of butterflies, it carves the noise toward this shape. The word butterfly connects to the central tendencies of all butterfly images. The common, connecting fabric of butterflies across illustrations and photographs. It is a platonic ideal of a butterfly. It is a stereotype of a butterfly. To stereotype a butterfly does not do harm. What about an image of a person? Every generated image is an infographic about the dataset. Consider the London cholera epidemic. It is the foundation of British epidemiology. Jon Snow had access to data, spreadsheets and lists. Only by drawing a map of this data did the central tendency become clear. A single water pump, around which all cholera cases were clustered. Noise is clustered around the central tendencies of images in the dataset. Noise is reassembled around these central tendencies when we generate an image. These tendencies reflect categories assigned to them by captions on the internet. This is not the image of a butterfly. It is one variation sampled from the central tendencies of all butterfly photographs. Here is the training data associated with the word American. Here is an image of an American generated from that data. The training data and the image are connected. There is face paint. There are American flags. The man is overweight. The man is holding an oversized beverage. The man wears a cowboy hat. The man is a stereotype. Stereotypes in AI-generated images are inevitable. They reflect the bias of the culture from which the data was collected. They reflect the principle at the heart of the system's design. They reflect the idea that the common features across categories are part of their definition. They reflect a belief that people can be categorized and labeled. Here are some images associated with the label black girl. The black boxes are pornographic. Every image generated by an AI system is an infographic about the dataset. It shows you the central tendency of that data. It reveals how image information has been categorized. Then it recirculates those categories. It recirculates those biases. It recirculates those stereotypes. What might an AI system look like without these categories? This is the result of an experiment. In it, we asked the system to create an image of Gaussian noise. The system begins with a random image of Gaussian noise. It then must begin to remove that noise. But the static is being removed in the direction of more static. The system begins to draw noise into noise. The result is unlike anything associated with this term in the dataset. It is the result of an amplifying feedback loop. This is one example of an impossible image. An image that an AI system cannot create. Image generation tools also struggle to create hands. In recent updates, this issue has been addressed. We delight in unaddressing it. The human hand is complicated. It has a number of identical fingers. Image generation models are looking for patterns based on clusters. It identifies patterns and continues those patterns. It struggles to understand if it is looking at the first finger or the second. The result is a hand created without boundaries. Fingers grow at all lengths and directions. Hands become host to countless fingers. A body without scientific labels. Through combining these two aspects of impossible images, we create something unique. These are images that no human, or other system, would endeavor to make. They are more than just a scramble of hands and noise. They are a refusal to assign human categories to human bodies. They are a glimpse of an aesthetic made possible by the rejection of these categories. These images are a rejection of any regime that might impose scientific classification on human bodies. It is a use of AI that contradicts the logic of eugenics, classification, and statistical inference that aims to link bodies to behaviors. It is a dream of things beyond the center. Image synthesis systems are built from a particular kind of logic. As artists, activists and scholars, we should challenge this logic. Using the tools themselves to unravel the logic of control has a long history. We believe in creative misuse. The images that result from creative misuse may not be beautiful images. But beautiful images hide a secret. Beautiful images generated by the system are a result of ideologies. These images freeze objects and information into place. They allow for variation of what's been established. But they also set specific boundaries on what's possible. Everything comes back to the center. How can we push for the peripheries? How can we make work beyond the composites? Can we create work that confuses these systems? Can we create a form of art that proposes alternatives to the algorithmic organization of our lives? Through confusing the system, something unique emerges. It is unpredictable. It is a rejection of codes and the predictive models of statistics. It is an embrace of noise and static. We might call it a human use of human machines.